So, welcome, beautiful goddesses of essence. Thank you for joining us this morning. It's so good to see you both. So, today I wanted to talk about the course Essence and mainly focus on you, Jen, and your experience and what you got out of it. But first, who is Jen Mendizabal? Let us know who you are and let us know who you are and what is your essence.
It's such a hard question to answer who I am. Seriously, the more I get to know myself, the more I detach from adjectives or knowledge or background, etc. I don't know. I'm a happy person. I'm a happy soul. Experience this earth experience is this body learning every day, and that's really how I relate to it right now, to be honest. Every day it's a new discovery, and the moment I get too attached, it's the moment I start suffering again.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I suppose that's why your focus is like surrendering to the soul and vision of the goddess. Can you
Yeah,
tell us more about your vision of the goddess?
yeah. The vision of the goddess is that very invisible part, that we cannot see it with our eyes, but we're starting to sense that when when the time comes for a big change, we start sensing it. When it's a time to stop, to take a big break, like a massive break, we kind of start feeling it. And it's that connection that we start developing with the invisible and the trust that we develop with the universe, and how our capacity to really surrender to it in a way of devotion devotional way, that we trust so much that this is for the best, not just for us, but for the collective and beyond. And we just trust no matter what. And when I say no matter what, is no matter what, because I have been through very difficult situations when it's like, is it really, like, are you universe asking me to go and give up to this and walk away from this, or say yes to another situation? It's just unbelievable that if that's actually what the universe wants us to enjoy and have an amazing life of, like, very abundant life, how come it's taking things away from us, right? How come is asking us to surrender to an identity or to a lover or someone we deeply love? And yeah, and that trust is how I connected with the vision of the goddess, is developing a deep trust with the universe and with the invisible.
Yeah, yeah. So it's pure trust. Is it pure
Pure
trust in
trust.
the goddess, the universe? The universe is
It's a
guiding.
very genuine trust, because the price always comes, and but you are not able to imagine, and you don't do it based on the price. You don't do it based on the expansion that you're gonna get, the quantum leap. You do it based of trust, of devotion. Yeah.
So what led you to Essence and what was enticed you to do the course Essence?
Well, the deep connection I had with you, I really trusted that. I didn't know what I was gonna get out of it, but I knew was the right information I was asking the universe to. I think I mentioned it to you at the night before we finally connected, because we connected for months and we were on and off, um, trying to set up an interview for the podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when finally happened, part of those beautiful synchronicities that the universe is definitely hearing you. And I was in the beach when I was like, I really want to work deeply on my sex energy. I really want to get tools that really lay a foundation for all these that I'm exploring by my own, right? And then I got home, it was nighttime, and then you text me, it's like, hi Jen, my family's away. I'm available to do the interview anytime in the next following days. We did the interview kind of the same day, And then that's how you got it. I got invited to give it a try to this amazing course. So for me, there was no doubt. I didn't even have to ask. I didn't have to do research. For me, is that the vision of the goddess. For me, it's like I knew what it was in my heart. I'm able to follow it. I trust that it's my GPS and it's never taking me to the wrong path, even though sometimes it might be like intimidating. Like, really? Why there? Let's choose another direction. Let's rethink this. But that's how I dive in so open already. Like I dive in into it knowing that that was the right information for me and the right time and the right container.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, you know, most statistics about people actually completing online courses is pretty dismal. I think it's something like 5 to 15%. But you've done the course twice.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, what motivated you, what drew you in, what captivated you, what kept you in the course?
What I found most more captivating of it, it was really your audios with your voice and the music you put on it. That it just took me really to another dimension in the moment. So it didn't matter where I was. The moment I was start hearing to your lessons and the music you had behind and the message and how it was the whole set, the whole vibe, I could see how I was having like a switch to my deep feminine right away. So I could notice that usually that takes me some time, like some practices or creating space, but I didn't have that with you, like with your message. I was able to connect right away with every class, with every lesson, and then even like hear it and just nurture from it.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, was there anything before you did the course that you're particularly searching for?
Yeah, more getting to know more my sexual energy. Like I was saying, like I had those very intuitive practices that I did on my own, and I think they were very important for me to trust, right, in what is happening in my body and how and my cycle, my regular cycle, everything. But um, for me was finding that foundation for sexual energy, and I was able to circulate it within my body and my emotions and being able to transmute any very dense emotion that I was navigating to, but without those techniques that you are teaching and you're sharing with us in the essence. So once actually I had those, I understood really how it was just about really how to feel it and do it. And it's I just find it very fascinating, like how I did it intuitively, but then how you gave me the tools, like, yeah, you can keep doing it, but those are a few tools that you can practice and they become my own anyways.
Beautiful, beautiful. I'm so thrilled that you've really, embraced all the tools and got so much out of it, which is, exactly why I created it for. So, that's,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's three tools that that I use in regular basis now. Maybe
Mhm.
obviously not every day, but I do feel like I made them my own. I just they were so they made so much sense into what I'm experiencing right now in this chapter of my life, like how I'm navigating things and exploring. So they just became part of my, yeah, my regular activities or my regular writing or, yeah, I
So,
integrate them.
so what are the three tools and how, like, I know that like one of the huge things I do is using that orgasmic flow state for my writing and inspiration and circulating the sexual energy with the figure eight breath, which I love doing
Yeah,
every day. What
yeah,
were the three tools that really resonated with you?
yeah, definitely the figure eight circulation is so useful and it takes you back into your pleasure right away. And I think that's very refreshing. Sometimes I even forget that I probably I should just even use it more often. Like what I was waiting for so long. And the other one is the mantras for each chakra. They're very powerful, and it just is such an easy way to get into alignment, but actually you are soothing yourself inside and expanding from inside out. And the other one is actually, I don't, you had a beautiful name, but I forgot what you put on it. Is when we say, wait, we're thinking about or thoughts about sex, and then we rewrite them
Mm-hmm.
when we're telling ourselves lies about that. But you had a beautiful name for that, and I love that for that exercise. And I did it with money. I did it with other situations, with life, with people that is I find challenging in my life. It's like, okay, why I think about them, and then I rewrite them. And this is something I have done with clients in the past, but the way you did it, it really got me to say, like, this is an amazing tool that I can definitely, I should use it for everything.
Yeah. Was that the see truth exercise? Was that
See
the
truth? Yeah, probably the seek truth. Yeah, the seek truth. Yeah.
so were there any surprises that cropped up in the course that for you?
Mm, maybe about the dominatrix. That's how
Yeah.
you call it. Yeah. Mm, I'm not. I wasn't. I'm not surprised that this kind of material, like this kind of information, comes across these sort of courses. But I'm used to face that part of myself quite often. So it didn't surprise me, but I was kind of surprised how you put it all together and the beautiful videos and the audios. And I found it very inspiring. And I think we need a little bit more of that. It's easy to say, oh, let's do it. But not many people are willing to share their real story, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that become very vulnerable about that part. And that's how you really, that's how I find that I connect best with someone, when I really know that they walk that path, because it's not really easy to take a whole layer out of yourself and then still show up in life and say, yes, I was this and I went through this and I did it, right? And usually when we start working with sexual energy, we just keep doing it. It's a whole process of doing it. Basically, I find that every month with my cycle is like, okay, let's another one and another one. And it might seem overwhelming for many.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you think's confronting about the course? Is there anything confronting, or you just found it, you just dived in and
Remember, we had a time where was your taboo persona.
Mhm.
Yeah, the taboo persona part, I think I didn't even do the whole meditation with the audio and in the mirror. I find that a little bit more tricky for me because I have my own practices too that I've done my whole life. So adding a new, it works for me that I just do it on my own with my music on my time, and I don't have to, oh, wait, let's find and being guided. I find a little, for myself, I still find that a little bit weird,
Yeah.
just because I'm so used to navigate those confrontational experiences with the mirror on my own time, on my own vibe, and on my own terms, basically. But yeah, the taboo persona, it was so interesting how you connected with me right away through the chat, and then we navigated a little bit from that experience what I had with my first partner, actually, when the man that I lost my virginity with. And then I was so open to him and ready to, explore and do kinky stuff. And, he was like, oh, maybe you weren't a virgin, actually. And that really set the tone for the rest of my relationships,
Mm.
because he was the first one. And the fact that he didn't welcome it, even when in his mind he was very proud, and then he talked about it in the past with his friend. I mean, later on with his friends. For me, in such a young age, I was in my early 20s, it really set the tone for the rest of the time. Even though, like, I was waiting for a long time. I didn't, I lost my virginity being an adult, and feeling like I know what I want, I know how I want it. So I was so ready to open up my body and my heart and my essence. And then I found a door closed. So it felt to me that, yeah, that was not welcome for everyone.
Yeah, yeah. I think I find that a lot too. Like when a woman is truly in her essence and in her orgasmic power, it can be very intimidating for men, and they don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to handle it, because it can be overwhelming for them because it is a power. And I think so many women use it the wrong way. Like you see a lot of, the Instagram models, and they think that, the bikinis and the sexy and flaunting it is how to express it or gain power over men, but it's not. It's so much deeper than that, which is what you've discovered and what you've delved into. It's that essence. And it gets shut down because of situations or examples like you just said. Men find it confronting, men find it overwhelming. I said, what do we do with this? Like, we're the we're the high priestesses of the bedroom, really. And they think they need to be the man and take control. And yeah, is that your experience? Like,
Yeah, totally. Like it was in the past until I decided to rediscover myself and explore my individuality for a while and dating different men and different times and different setups too. And till I really found what I was comfortable with and what I was able to vibe naturally and what really wasn't meant for me to explore anymore.
yeah,
And so that was very interesting because that happened when I already became a mom and my son was a baby. So it was kind of weird in a way, but at the same time, it felt the right time. I felt so liberated. Like I'm already a mom. I'm not looking for another child at the moment. And I'm not looking for being in a relationship. I'm working on myself. So this is a great time for me to just explore. And yes, I found still at that moment when I was already a woman with a child and I wasn't dating younger men, I was even dating older men, I found that they were very intimidated when I was just showing a little bit. I mean, look, of my essence. It's not like I was, I was like, well, really, it's too much. I didn't take it personal by then, but unconsciously, I wasn't surprised because from what happened with this first partner ever,
yeah,
it set the tone. So it set the tone that maybe there's no hope for me to really be my whole self with someone in the bedroom, and it set the tone too for me, like, well, I have to find my own happiness. I have to find that time that I can explore and connect with myself really in that like wildness, no limits. And I did. And that's how I met you after. Like after I had those practice on set, it was like my priority uh, for like 2 years, I think. And then is when I met you.
yeah. You attracted more of it. You're delving deep into your essence, and you attracted more.
You know what? One of my calls was I really wanted to share this with other women. Like for me it was that right there. And but I saw my friends and other women, like even they are in a relationship, they are married, they have a partner, and they're still suffering because they're still not quite finding that genuine connection where you are truly yourself in the bedroom and outside the bedroom, right? So it's like I was explaining what I was doing, but it was so intimate to me. It was so authentic. It was so my thing, my own discovery, that I found that maybe they weren't ready to believe me, or maybe, like maybe I was so crazy, or that was something that just happened to me and few other women around there. So finding other women like you, and like attract this kind of woman in social media now. And then I found, oh my God, they're talking about it. They do it too. They work with that. They give other tools, and another world opened up to me. It's in my exterior world.
Yeah, it like you, Jen, when you discover it and you feel it yourself, and then it's hard not to want to share it, isn't it? It's like, oh my God, every sister on this planet has to feel this. Every woman needs to experience this, you know. And yeah, it's exactly
And
how I feel.
in a way, I don't know if I can add this too, but in a way, I felt very grateful to those other partners that they didn't receive it, because it really pushed me out of my comfort zone to say, it's like, well, if they're not taking it, I'll take it. I want it. I want it. I want to know. I want to explore it. I want all of it. I don't want just a little bit and that's too much. I want all of it. And that's really how I transcend that limitation that I need a partner or not to feel amazing or to tap in my pleasure, because thanks to those partners that really they couldn't handle it.
They missed out.
But then I find out, like then I was able to give him at the time. And I get it that if someone has a partner, it's difficult. They share bedrooms, they share the bed, they share spaces. So I find that it was very helpful for me to have the time and the space for myself to navigate without limitations. Like, it doesn't matter if I had music or no music. It was if I felt like I wanted to be in silent, if I wanted to be in the dark or in the window, doesn't matter. It was my time to explore with no limitations.
Yeah, beautiful. It was a love affair with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And how special is that? And I think that's what we all need, isn't it? We need to go through like a transitional stage in our life of actually creating that love affair with ourselves to delve deeply into pleasure and self-pleasure and self-love and then turn up to a relationship or the world, whatever it is, then turn up in our essence, fully in our essence, fully in our turned on by life. And
Yeah,
the whole of life looks different when you've yeah, yeah,
totally.
beautiful. So is there anything missing for you? Anything you felt was missing in the course?
I was probably missing more your face more often because I think I mentioned it to you, I'm pretty visual.
Mm-hmm.
But then you add few videos from your boat and sharing yourself a little bit more. So I felt I already by then I was finishing the course. So I went check again the videos you put, and they made me feel more connected to you, even though I already knew I already knew your face, etc. But I'm very visual, so maybe that's why. But
Mm-hmm.
that was very personal for me, that I love the audios, but at the same time sometimes I like to just sit down and see the person and get the whole experience of their vibe.
Yeah, yeah, excellent. Yeah, yeah, and you did mention that, and I did go back and put some face like videos of myself in there. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but I mean, it was very personal. For some other people, maybe they just find it very inspiring that they don't even get to see your face and they don't know who you are.
hmm
That was just a very personal thought.
yeah, and I had a someone else on the course, and she asked me to be able to download the audibles. So I uploaded the files in downloadable format so that you can download them on your phone, take them with you, do them again and again. So you didn't actually have to log in to do the course. And she found that very useful as well.
Yeah,
Mm,
very useful. I haven't done the downloads, but then I find more easy use YouTube than logging into the course.
yeah.
So I save them on my YouTube playlist, and then I just have them organized to for usually for the ones I like to repeat quite often.
So what else would you like to share about is there anything else you'd like to share about your experience of Essence? Is anything in your life that's changed because of it?
Yeah, I think I really, really tap in with my essence because your course. And this is I think I found that a big deal because I consider myself pretty authentic overall. Even things I don't like, about myself. It's not a big taboo for me to not share that. Or, it's not like, oh, I hide my insecurities. I'm pretty open about what I share. So that makes easier for me to tap in my essence and others to kind of perceive it. So it's not like something I hide consciously or unconsciously, but I think that was the click. What I mentioned, tapping into the taboo persona was very uplifting. It's like, oh wow, yeah, that was what set the tone. And I got stuck into creating this that, men cannot handle me unconsciously, right? And we are creators, so we create what we think, what we say, and what we feel. So even though when I was saying, oh yeah, everything is great, or we have a great connection, something inside of me was saying it was an incoherence. What something inside of me was saying, no, he's not able to handle you, not in the wrong. Once you show up truly, he's probably going to walk away or not being able to keep up too.
Yeah.
And something in my head was expecting that too, because I was thinking it. So I wasn't in coherence. I wasn't choosing partners in alignment with my true self. And that really was one of those beautiful awakenings that you have in life.
Yeah, yeah.
You gotta go through many, but I think definitely this was a special one.
Yeah, yeah. So it was validating. It was validating your own essence, like, and giving you the opportunity to express it more. How's that?
Yeah. I mean, like I did it unconsciously. It's like, well, nobody can take it, then I'll take it. I enjoyed it. But then it's when I really brought to the light that shadow, it's like, oh, why? Why is that I think that nobody can handle it? It wasn't true that I was keep attracting those partners based on my beliefs,
Based
I
on your
was
what? Sorry, Jen?
based on my beliefs,
Yeah.
because that first experience set the tone for the rest of them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Beautiful. Carolyn, do you have any questions for Jen at all? Or me?
How long does it take? Well, a couple of one for each of you. Cheryl, for you, how did you get onto this, and what kind of inspired you to start doing the course, and where has all your knowledge come from? And then for Jen, how long do you have any recommendations? Like, do you just sit down and do the course? I don't know how long it takes, or do you kind of do a little bit a day or once a week? Do you have to go away and think about things before you carry on?
Okay. Well, like Cheryl's mentioned it, I went through it twice. But for me, it's all about integration. So it all depends on probably what's your approach. If So that's why it took me some time to probably repeat the same audio a few times and do the practice till I really felt that I got into my heart. Like I could feel like, okay, this is how, just not do the exercise, but I could just feel the energy who was shifting differently. So that's how really I experienced every chapter differently and at different times, especially when, for example, I was away, let's say for 10 days with my son. So I didn't have that time to, be my goddess. I was more in the mom survival. And then that shift, it might be taking me a couple hours, hearing maybe previous episodes, previous chapters a little bit to find, oh yeah, this is what we were doing before, and then navigate a little bit more. But it was pretty much about how I felt it. And yeah, and I still feel like the last few exercises, the last few chakras, it's something I haven't integrated yet. So I might go back to it and take a look again and go one by one.
Excellent, thank you.
Essence is a gathering of the tools that everything that I needed myself to return to my own authentic essence. In my 30s, I was 30 actually, I discovered I was multi-orgasmic and I'd gone through my whole life on adult life on contraceptive pill and with the same partner. And when I hit 30, I went off the contraceptive pill and just a new me appeared. And it totally changed my perception of life. So it turned my whole life on. And my husband, he'd gone away from work, and that's why I went off the pill. And when he came back, he just, like you, Jen, and your experience with your first boyfriend, he didn't know what the hell had happened. And he was like shocked and like intimidated. He thought I'd been having an affair, all these things. And it was just it was overpowering, overbearing. I don't know, but it was just, yeah. Anyway, he got used to it. So, and ended up loving it, obviously. And he changed my nickname to his little nymph. But it changes your life, that discovery. And what I also discovered with it was that the more, the state I talk about, orgasmic flow state, it's an altered state, and it's where my deepest inspirations flow through me. It's where I can tap into unsolved issues and write from, and letting go of everything, like you mentioned before, Jen, about you dropping things away. You become the no thing, no labels, no categories, and you experience something greater than who you think you are. And then things expand from there. Inspiration flows from there. So, and then I lost it. I went through a period in my life where I lost it. And it was a big period in my life. And I was still sexual, I was still sensual, I was still orgasmic, but I lost the flow part. I lost my authentic essence. I put my authentic essence in a box under a bed because I was scared of scaring people with it. I was scared of being judged. I was scared of being labeled. And so I reignited my authentic essence when I reconnected with our mutual friend, Jen, Carrie Gregson in Austria. And she reminded me who I was, because we'd met many years ago in the Himalayas hiking Mount Everest. And we'd had a really deep sisterhood connection back then. And when we reunited a couple of years ago, she reminded me of that essence in a lot of ways. And so it's been a journey of reigniting that authentic essence within me. And so the course essence is everything that significant that I felt helped reignite that essence within me. So yeah.
Fabulous. Can't wait to start.
Excellent. So I am so grateful for both of you this afternoon, for turning up and sharing your essence. And yeah, there's nothing more important than sisterhood. There's nothing more important than women coming together and sharing our inspiration and being able to be our authentic selves in front of each other. And that is such a valuable thing that we can give each other. So I've overflown with gratitude for you both.
Thank you so much, Cheryl.
Very articulate and expressed yourself very well. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Carolyn. And yeah, we might share more on the next sailing retreat. Beautiful. Anything else you want to add, Jen?
No, just thank you. Thank you for creating this space and the program. And I just really want you to succeed a lot and get to a lot of women and, remind them how important it is to tap into their essence and stay there. Because sometimes, we tap and it's like on and off, on and off. And I find that that's a priority. That's a job. That's what we have to put our energy into it. If we had to put our energy into something, it's into tap into our essence. 24/7, and the rest will come, the rest will flow. And it is challenging. So that's why it should become our full-time job.
Mm. So beautifully said. Thank you so much, Jen. Thank you, Carolyn.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.
Huh.